Welcome to 7,000 Leagues Under the Scene, our alt-week content. Feast or Famine Studios is made up of real people with lives, jobs, families, and schedules that conflict more often than we'd like. So every other week, we'll be dropping a short podcast where some or all of us get together to chat about a recent episode, something specific to our table, or anything geeky that tickles our fancy. Inevitably, we will get off topic, but we hope that it helps you to get to know us a little better as players and as people. So with that in mind, please join us for another episode of 7,000 Leagues Under the Scene.
Hey guys, this is your Tides Mistress speaking.
And Chriselda.
And tonight, well, whatever time of day it is for you right now, we are going to talk about music in games. Well, music and storytelling, I guess, is probably more accurate.
Yeah. I mean, we're both musicians. Not that I play anything, can't read a chord chart or sheet music to save my life, but definitely I have sung since I was old enough to hold a mic. And how many instruments can you play?
Well, okay. The thing is I can play a lot of them. How many of them will I consent to perform in front of other people?
Well, that's very few, but
like 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
That's 5 more than me.
How often do I get up on stage and sing? Never.
Yeah.
How often do you do it? Almost every week?
Every other, actually.
Oh, okay.
Unless somebody
does. Often. Okay.
Or there's karaoke.
So we are both very big fans of music. We both listen to a lot of music. And we even convinced our parents when we were in college to allow us to drive a fair distance away just so we could see a musical.
Yes, the second best musical of all time.
The second best. What do you consider the best?
Phantom of the Opera. It's the first one I ever saw.
No,
Holds a very special place in my heart. But
Wicked
is also very good.
And we were very fortunate to get to see it in one of the first runs in Chicago.
Yeah, and it quickly became the soundtrack of all road trips.
All road trips. If we have not played it on a road trip, it doesn't count as a road trip.
Nope. But I think it's interesting that even though both of those are our top, if it might not be your top 2, but they are also so incredibly different, and the tenor of both of them and how they are meant to elicit emotion is so different. And I think that's really how music can also, affect our gameplay. I know for our Tuesday night game, I was originally not really playing music in the background, and we would have these moments that just felt like empty, because even though we were having really good role play and like the back and forth, in those silences, things felt as if they were like kind of dying away. And so just to try and help it a little bit, we added music, and having something underneath it that fit the mood really helped to smooth over those places. And it, even though it wasn't words, it created continuity in those moments.
Actually, getting music into our campaigns has been an incredibly long trial and error game. So, as we said, we don't play in person very rarely anymore, and never with our main groups, as I don't think we may have mentioned at this point, I cannot remember. We do not all live locally to each other. We are in fact quite dramatically spread across a rather vast distance through a couple different time zones, and it honestly just means that the only option to play with these groups are to play online. And we have had so many problems with, you find music you like, and oh no, that music player is no longer working on Discord.
Oh my God.
we're going to run the music through this program. Oh no, it's skipping for some reason in and out, and we can't figure out why. The current way that I have gotten music to work, if you are looking for a way to use music, I use Kenku, which is a tie-in through Discord. I believe you can get it for free. It's a pay whatever you want. I do recommend it's a really cool app. If you get it, throw whatever you can towards them. Love to support small open source creators, but using that on a separate laptop while we're playing to run the music and pipe it into Discord that way has been the most consistently, what would you say? Not unproblematic. It messes up the least. It works.
Yeah. Which we couldn't get before. Oh man, the number of times that we would think that we found a solution and it would work one week, and then the next week they'd be like, no, we can't play that content anymore. Just frustrating.
It is really a big hurdle when it comes to playing online. There are a lot of really great websites where you can get good mood music. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really great, honestly, soundtracks. Like we started talking with two of our favorite musicals. There are so many great movie soundtracks that I have used in past games. Now, if you're wondering, the current music that you would hear in the campaign is not stolen from anybody. And I can tell you exactly where I got it, and I would highly recommend it for anybody. I love to use Humble Bundle. It is a really cool website. You go, they bundle together stuff for charity. You pay a much lower price than you would pay if you were getting it all piecemeal, and you get a bunch of cool products together. They pretty regularly, because they do tend to market some of their bundles towards like small game creators, people trying to start out animations or other programs for the first time. And so they often have royalty-free sound packs available. Some of our favorite soundtracks that you listen to in our campaign come from these. They do give you just tiny clips, so you have, and they'll usually give you a pretty cheap, a nice but inexpensive in the bundle editor of some kind to help blend the clips together. It's very little work. It's largely plug and play, and it does take, some time to do it. But then you have an actual file. And I don't know if anybody else has had any issues recently with, I've paid for this content, but it's on a cloud somewhere, and if it's not working, then I might as well not own it. And this at least is actually a copy on your device that you can then run whenever you want. You don't have to have internet available. You can make the clip as long or as short as you want. You can even blend multiple clips together if you want to run through a series of feelings. But I have really found them to be incredibly useful. And then if you do something like let other people listen to it on the internet, you don't have to worry that you're going to get hit with a copyright infringement notice.
Yeah. If you are not going to be doing that, then the product that I use for our Tuesday night game is called tabletopaudio.com, and it is also a place that you can go and download. And again, these are not things that we're sponsored. These are just things that we use that might be helpful to you all, and we just want to share what we've learned. But Tabletop Audio does really fun. A lot of their stuff is either they'll tell you it's almost entirely ambiance, or it's ambiance and music. And they have a really wide range of sci-fi to cult horror to, just regular medieval. So they have a really nice mix of stuff, and they're usually pretty long. I think most of them are 10 minutes, and they loop fairly well. So that's always nice. But I do the same thing. I use Kenku for that game and download whatever file I'm looking for. And then just kind of, run through those. But having something that we can do consistently has really, just that simple thing has, I feel really leveled up our playing.
There have been times, I remember one time, and this was just pure happenstance. I I was doing a very dramatic scene, and it was not in this campaign. It was a couple campaigns back. And I was actually one-on-one with another player, and I said something really dramatic, and thunder crashed in the background. And it was the coolest thing, because I didn't intend for that to happen. But it just kind of drove home that like those little cues can really make all the difference. It can also be a really fun way to mess with your players.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. You would talk about messing with your players.
What are we talking about mood and setting things up or not?
Yes. Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here. So, and I'm okay. When I say messing with your players, caveat, you mess with your players in the ways that they trust you and that they have consented to. If it's not fun for everybody, it's not fun. Back to torture. There's so many wonderful things you can do where you can just subtly shift your music and even layer in things so that it starts very calm. And then you just subtly shift to something that's just a little more keyed up. And if you do it right, they don't even know for a while sometimes that you're slowly applying pressure. I will also say, combat music is one of the best ways to keep people moving in combat.
Yes. 100%.
Hands down. If you have nothing, those silences take forever. If you have something in the background that makes them feel like, if I don't do it now, if I don't make a decision now, if I don't make a decision now, and it just helps everyone stay focused and present and in the moment. And there's a lot of other things that you can do with combat that that really help you and your players stay in the moment and stay connected. But music is one of the easiest ways because there's just nothing more epic than the horns of Valhalla crying in the background while you're epically slaying a beast.
And there's nothing that like increases your heart rate and gets that connection to the story like music. If you've ever, I years ago watched, I think Jaws. It was a YouTube video. They were talking about how important music is, and so they took out the music of like some really important scenes. And
they're laughable.
Oh my gosh, there is nothing like trying to watch a super dramatic. Now, sometimes silence can be just as important. So, if you have that dramatic moment where there is just an epic pause where the whole world breathes for a moment and you want to layer that silence in, because movies do that too. They have that exact same thing where just everything goes quiet. That can be just as impactful.
Absolutely. But especially if you go from something where you've had this moment of big things moving, and then I'm pretty sure in at least a couple of big battles in talking about the aftermath, I have then cut all of the music. And we talk through the final moments in silence.
Yeah.
As you go from the clash and the clang and the epic struggle to that moment where the dust settles and you're all just looking at each other either in victory or defeat, in horror and triumph, and you just sit in that for a minute. And I would say storytelling is also, a lot like music in terms of pacing.
Yeah.
If you want to know how to set a scene, find a song that sets the mood and match that pace.
Mm-hmm.
The way you talk as a storyteller conveys a lot. So if you're matching the tone and the pace and the rhythm of music with your words, especially if you're someone who doesn't do a lot of public speaking or is having a hard time kind of falling into the story and really selling yourself to it, that can be a really good way to help you get into the mood.
And if you're not an audiophile, like if music is just not really your thing, but maybe you like movies and you have, the the setting for your campaign matches this movie, or the feel of your campaign matches the
The
feel of this
vibes.
movie. Just look, the number one rule of DMing is steal. Do it kindly. Give credit where credit is due, but by all means, like, there's nothing new under the sun. So go ahead and use it if it works.
Did you ever make a playlist for any of your characters?
No, I don't think I ever have. There are definitely songs that are like, oh, that's so and so.
That's a Chriselda song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything with a mosh pit feel is a Chriselda song.
Oh, that is 1,000% a Chriselda song. I have considered a couple times building playlists because there are songs that feel like, especially in like certain moments or certain moods. And I do think, especially if you're trying to get back to a place in a story, because sometimes, unfortunately, we are human beings with time limits and lives, and sometimes you have to stop a campaign in the middle of a sensitive moment.
Yep.
Because we all have to go to sleep and get up and work in the morning. Why? Because capitalism.
Because capitalism.
Because capitalism. Having that music can really help that playlist, that even if it's not a character-specific playlist, if it's a mood-specific playlist, that can be a great way to get you back into the right headspace of stepping back into that tense moment or that joyful celebration or that focused combat before you step up to your table.
Yeah, we always have a quick recap of the session before, and a lot of times it's that's where I, as a player, like, bring myself back, and the music is almost always a part of that. Of like, okay, all right, let me settle into the feels again. At the time of this recording, we just had one of these where we had a really big moment as a campaign and had to kind of end in the heart of it and come back to it the next week. And it was very much okay, all right, get back into that headspace and feel all of the feels.
I'll also say, because I know sometimes I, as a DM, will struggle with this. If you find a song you like and it works for the vibes, you don't have to change it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it can be so tempting to be like, oh, that was really good, but maybe I should use a different one next time. You don't have to. If you find a good exploration vibe and it works for most of your stuff, use it every time. You don't have to have 16 options.
And honestly, your players aren't probably even going to really notice.
No.
Because it's very much the feel of it.
Mm.
If it is so distinct that they're like, oh, that's different than the last 3 battle musics that we use, that I would almost think, hey, maybe that's too distracting. Like, you want to set the mood with it. You don't want the music to be the focus.
I will say, like, I specifically with battle music, I try to use multiple for that.
Okay.
Partially because I feel like the pressure of the music can really change the pressure of the combat.
That's fair.
And so,
but again,
like,
you're matching the vibe of the music.
I'm trying to match the vibe of the music. So, like, a low stakes combat, I have different music than like high stakes combat. And then I try to have it on like a scale of degrees because I'm me and therefore too much.
Too much. I have 3 that I use. And it's the same thing. I have one that's more of like this is just, a random encounter that we all know 99% chance you guys are overcoming it.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while,
it's the big guns. It's the you better focus or you're fucked song.
Yeah.
I also love that train just completely left the station. I have no idea what I was going to say. It's gone. One thing that we have not talked about yet is that something we're hoping to get to share with you all eventually is that I have been slowly writing theme songs for all of the characters. We have 3 of them completely done, and we have 3 more that are still being worked on, partially because even though I do play several instruments, there are some things I can't do.
What?
I know. Can you believe I admitted it on a recording?
Yeah, I can't believe you admitted it. I don't actually believe it, though.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's insulting or not.
I said what I said.
I know. So we're hoping to have all of this done eventually. But Chriselda, you have yours for your character Mila.
I
Do you
do.
feel it's an appropriate fit?
Oh man, the first time that we got to listen to it as a group, I was grinning from ear to ear. At this point,
Yeah.
you have met Mila, and she is kind of a no nonsense go getter who is focused, and the absolute boss song that you wrote for her just couldn't be more perfect.
Aw, thank you. I had a lot of fun with it. If you're curious, at the time of this recording, the other 2 that are finished are Satalik and Zen.
And Satalik's was the first one that you finished, right?
Satalik's was the first one. It was the first one that got done. It was by far the easiest, and not because it's necessarily a simplistic tune. I just saw the vibe that Satalik was going for, and I went, no, I know exactly what this creature song is.
I feel like it takes maybe 3 sessions before anyone's going to be like, yep, nope, we got it. he is exactly who he is.
He is exactly who he is, and we love him for it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
do. Our little chaos baby.
Technically, that's not the first thing that was ever written for a campaign, though.
No, it was not.
For our Tuesday night campaign, we had so I run a Strixhaven game. I would say the first 2 years were pure Strixhaven, and it's kind of gone off the rails, as from what I've heard from several Strixhaven DMs tends to happen. So we had a situation where one of the players was being bullied, essentially, by an NPC. And so she found out that this particular person was like sharing music about her. And we were taking one of our infamous road trips where I'm sure that we listened to Wicked. And
2 U-turns, minimum.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Doesn't matter what the GPS says.
Nope.
We ain't going to make it in one shot. And I don't even remember how it started. I know I started it, and then I walked away, and you had practically finished it.
We finished the tour, and we got back to the hotel room, and I believe you went to shower, and you were like, look, this is what I wrote. I'm going to leave it with you, but I think we just need to like do maybe one more verse and it's finished. And you came back, and I had turned one of your verses into a chorus that was repeated with one line changed every time. And I had taken your one verse, and I think it turned it into 4.
Yeah. And then we recorded it, and we played it in the campaign.
We did.
And I'm going to be honest,
perfect.
It was a really fun moment.
It was amazing.
It's one of those things, I'm talking about bullying one of my characters.
Players?
But it's been a really fun storyline. It took a great turn in the end.
It really did.
And even though, and again, we will talk about this probably over and over again, there has to be trust at the table. If you cannot, in good faith, know that you are within the boundaries that are set by your players and your DM, then you shouldn't be doing it. But I have been playing D&D with this particular person at that point for probably 2 years. And although she complains about the fact that I torture her character, it's because she loves it. And it's the challenge of playing a tortured character is the best challenge. And she agrees with me on that point. If she comes and tells you something later, I'll apologize to her and we'll have a good discussion about it.
I'm pretty sure she loves it just as much as you do.
But it was a fun moment of like doing something special and specific to that character. And I'm not saying go out and start writing music necessarily. If that's something that you enjoy doing and have never thought about including that in your campaigns, by all means. But I think the idea of like catering moments to players creates really special role play moments.
For sure.
And at the end of the day, that's what all this is about.
So, can you think of any moments as we wrap this up? Because I think we're just about at time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of any moments of like a moment in the story where music made or make or break moments?
Ooh, that's a good one. The battle in Halls of Rest with the like when it was down in the pit.
Ooh, the abomination.
Yes.
Thing.
I don't know why that particular one sticks out to me, but I just remember it being like the right level of intense and creepy.
So very specifically, it was intense and creepy for a reason to match the vibe.
Yeah.
It was the God of Rot, and I'm sorry, I do not remember the name in D&D lore. It is the official lore from the D&D wiki. Their abomination, which I think is like their avatar on the material plane. So they had to go fight that abomination. And it was basically birthing out more pieces of itself and attempting to reach its full potential.
Yeah, it was really
And
gross.
and I made it absolutely disgusting. And the music that I found was both applied pressure, but also had these super creepy, and not creepy like ooh fun haha, but like oh something really messed up is happening here. Creepy.
Yeah.
No, that one was a great one. I'd forgotten about that one.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at me remembering something.
No, you did great.
Okay, what's yours? You got one?
Well, very specifically, I went through like 7 or 8 trying to pick because as you mentioned earlier, we just finished a very big heartfelt section of the game, and I almost used a couple of other sound pieces behind that. I went through several options and I was kind of bouncing back and forth, and the one I picked was the simplest. And I was like, you know what? I think this is it, because there's times when you want to really press down on the mood or the vibe or the whatever. And in this case, I was like, I just want a slight minor key something. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
In strings largely. And it just felt like for some reason I kept going, oh, I think we need something with a little bit more. And I'm so glad I didn't, because it's
me too.
Been perfect.
Yeah, I think it falls into that like not distracting from, but adding to the feel, because there were moments where we just like weren't talking, and it was the silences of the characters were just as important as the times that we were speaking, I feel like.
And the music filled them perfectly without distracting from them.
Right. Overcoming them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
And occasionally, sometimes you get very lucky in that, because all music will have some up and down to it. And sometimes something you say will just perfectly time with the music for a very dramatic pause or a very dramatic hit or whatever the case may be. And that's always really super awesome, cool, like give you goosebumps cool.
We always say that the dice tell a story, and sometimes the music track tells a story.
Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it helps. And sometimes it's a pain. But we do the work because it's worth it most of the time.
Agreed.
Well, I think that's it for this one, unless there's anything else you can think of that we missed.
I don't think so. Thank you again for diving in with us. We hope that you enjoyed listening to that half as much as we enjoyed making it. Tune in next week for the continuation of our story from Feast or Famine Studios.